Well, good afternoon to you, trusting that you are well this Monday. Welcome to this edition of KTN News Desk. My name is Grace Nganga. Today's highlights. Leaders allied to the Kenya Kwanza administration come out in defense of government policies. Livestock farmers in Nyandarua County calls on the national government to send officers to enlighten them more on upcoming vaccination campaign. Ghana's Vice President and ruling party candidate Mahamudu Bawumia concedes defeat to opposition candidate and former President John Dramani Mahama in a tightly contested election. Plus, outgoing U.S. President Joe Biden and incoming President Donald Trump address regime collapse in Syria as President Bashar al-Assad flees to Russia. All right, welcome to the broadcast, and later on I'm going to be joined by Kelvin Nyakundi from the business desk to bring us an update on matters business. Now, leaders from Kenya Kwanza coalition have defended the government's delivery of service to Kenyans, claiming that Kenya is on the right track. Speaking in Igembe South, Meru County, where they attended a church service, the leaders led by Sports Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen have asked Kenyans to judge the government after 5 years and see if it will have delivered on its manifesto. They have expressed confidence that all projects will be completed by the end of their regime's first term and asked critics to be logical.
The work company imetutengenezea hiyo barabara, na ndio maana leo hii tunafurahia hiyo barabara kutoka Maua mpaka pale Red Canteen, barabara ambayo haina poto hata moja. Kwa hivyo tunakushukuru Waziri Murkomen sababu uliweza kutufanyia hiyo kazi.
Uzalishaji wa vyakula tuache kutegemea mvua kila siku, kwa sababu kuna kitu tunaita climate change, ambayo wakati kuna kiangazi ni ngumu, mimea haimei, chakula haikui. One of the promises ama zile ahadi ambazo ziko katika kipaumbele kwa serikali ni Kenya ijitosheleshe kwa vyakula vyake.
We appreciate everybody who wants to criticize government, but criticize us based on the fact. At least take a few minutes and read the manifesto. Ujiulize hii manifesto iko na nini na rais amefikia wapi? Na usituambie angekuwa amemaliza kwa mwaka 2. In the next 5 years tutakuwa tumemaliza hizo zote tumepromise, na tutafanya hata ipite yenye tulikuwa tumepromise. And I promise you Bishop, mkituombea kama vile nilisikia mkiomba na mko na nia mzuri ya nchi yenu isonge mbele, tushikane watu wa Meru, tushikane watu wa Kenya, tuhakikishe kwamba tuna fulfill ile promises tulijipatia sisi wenyewe.
Elsewhere, the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation will implement 16 projects in Turbo constituency this financial year at a total cost of 135 million shillings. Speaking when he commissioned the Chepkemel Village Electrification Project in Turbo constituency, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki commended the members of staff at REREC for their continued efforts to ensure that no Kenyan is left behind in being connected to electricity. Kindiki said that the government was determined to connect every Kenyan homestead to electricity by the year 2030.
I will extend this up to chapter 1.
Yes.
Yeah, as far as from that end.
Yeah. Get Faruk. Amefanya kitu ya maana. Thank you.
Now, the minority leader in the Senate has faulted the government for the troublesome rollout of the Social Health Authority, SHA. Senate Minority Leader Stewart Matzayo and his deputy, Enoch Wambua, lamented that the hurried transition from the defunct National Hospital Insurance Fund, NHIF, to SHA had led to untold suffering among Kenyans seeking medical services. They asked the Ministry of Health to rectify the anomalies to stop patients from being turned away from from health facilities due to system failure, as has been the case since the SHA rollout on October 1st, 2024. The Kilifi and Kitui senators said this over the weekend during an early Christmas party for the Akamba community living in Malindi sub-county.
Tunapewa siasa nyingi, mambo ambayo hayatatusaidia, lakini siku ile mtu atakuwa mgonjwa, utahitaji jirani, mtanipigia simu na mpigie kio na wale wengine. Kwa sasa kilichoko sasa hatuwezi kushindana. Twendeni tujiandikishe na SHA, ndio ukiwa na shida huwe utaweza kusaidika.
Hakuna mtu anakataa maneno ya SHA, hakuna. What we are saying is, hii wanatuambia ati mungoje kidogo tutarekebisha. Kama mtu mgonjwa anatakikana atibiwe, si ndio? Saa hii sio ati ngoja sasa systems ziko chini kuja next week. Hapana, ungoje hii maneno ya kuja next week. Maneno ya SHA ni sawa, auto register, but we want services delivered to our people.
Hawezi kuongoza serikali ama hawezi kuongoza nchi ambayo ina wagonjwa wengi kuliko wale wazima. Kwa sababu ukiangalia hivi sasa watu wengi sana ni wagonjwa, na wakienda hospitali wanaregeshwa. Kwa hiyo sisi tunasema ya kwamba usituahidi tu peke yake wewe kama rais. Ukituahidi ni lazima utende.
Elsewhere, KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli has criticized Nairobi and Mombasa cities for their failure to maintain cleanliness and proper urban planning, despite the crucial role in Africa's economic integration. Speaking in Kisumu, Atwoli expressed disappointment in the leadership of the two cities, pointing out that the presence of youthful governors should have led to a more efficient and forward-thinking approach to city management. Atwoli, known for his outspoken views on national matters, has emphasized that the disorganization in Nairobi and Mombasa undermines the country's efforts to establish itself as a leader in the continent's economic integration.
The gateway of this country for tourism and everything. That is the filthiest city in the world, being led by a young man. Come to Nairobi, where our parliament is, where the seat of power is. That is, Nairobi is the dirtiest city in East Africa now, currently as I'm talking. A seat of hawkers, a seat of riders, a seat of matatus, a seat of poor pavement, a city with buildings which have never seen paint, no drainage system, no traffic lights. We still have police officers on the road in Nairobi. In this age, this time of age, when small towns like in West Africa, like Accra, Ghana, Abidjan, Lome in Togo, they have organized traffic lights.
And as the range of anger against the government continues to be expressed by Kenyans in different places across the country, a section of leaders have appealed to Kenyans to cool off the temperatures and allow these leaders to visit them as the grassroots for development projects. This plea comes at a wake of hard times for all the politicians who voted yes in a bid to impeach the former deputy Rigathi Gachagua, especially in the Mount Kenya region, where the leaders have been heckled or people walking out of their functions. Ahadi Kenya Trust Director Dr. Stanley Kamau has appealed to residents of Rathia in Kangema constituency during a birthday celebration for his colleague Dr. Kamau Wairagu to at least allow these politicians to come to the grassroots for development projects, especially issuance of bursary funds.
Mambo ambayo watu ambao tulichagua wanafanya sio haki. Ikuwe ati watoto wa hapa kwetu hawapati pesa ya masomo ama hawapati ile basari ya kutoka kwa CDF, ama pia ikuwe ati hata pesa ya shule ama ya hospitali hatupati kwa sababu tumekasirikia viongozi. Vile Daktari Stanley amesema, hawa watu sisi wenyewe ndio tuliwachagua.
Mine is an appeal to all the communities. The money that is normally used by CDF, Women Lab, governors is your taxes. So I appeal to the community, especially Central Kenya. Let's allow those who either voted no or voted yes to come and bring development in our communities.
Matters Education and the Kericho County Members of Parliament have called on the Ministry of Education to reconsider its decision to close 348 boarding schools across the country for failing to meet safety standards. Speaking during the graduation ceremony of 2,586 graduates from Kericho County Vocational Training Centers, the legislators led by Kipkelon East Member of Parliament Joseph Cherorot expressed concern over the potential disruption of learning activities caused by the closures. He urged that the closure of these schools, including 26 in Kericho County, will have a huge impact on students' education.
Are going to be closed. Where will those students go? Yesterday in Parliament we debated and we said those schools should be given time to improve if it is about the issue of health and safety and this program that is coming. We cannot just do it just like that. Let us give them time so that they can be able to change and adapt to the new system.
Kisumu Senator Professor Tom Ojienda have assured the residents of Kisumu that is going to table a motion against Korusoin Dam in Parliament to help solve the flood menace affecting the people of Kisumu. He also added that the dikes will be created along rivers to control the rainy waters that floods the villages. The senator was speaking in Kisumu West, where he donated foodstuff and non-food items to flood victims.
2027.
A lasting solution to this, of course, would be Korusoin Dam. That would help, but that's just part of it, because we also have to ensure that we desilt the tributary some of the rivers, but also to ensure that we have a framework that for desilting every so often, so that water can flow right into the lake. And I think the disaster that we've seen here, the houses that have been destroyed, we will have to seek help to reconstruct some of the houses for families that have lost their houses and all their property.
People are complaining that there were some funds that were allocated for some bridge here in Rota, and they were told that the project ended simply because the county government of Kisumu realized that there was some corruption. The people are seriously asking that if at all there were some corruption allegation cases, they want to see to it and to be told specifically in black and white, where are these funds and who was involved in these corruption cases here in Rota.
Tangu tupige kura ile mwaka zingine zimepita, hatujaona mazuri. Tumekuwa tu tunasumbuliwa na maji kila wakati. Maji inakuja inajaa manyumba, inajaa shule hadi hospitali. Hakuna hata vile watu wa Rota hawana amani. Hivi karibuni maji ilijaa mpaka kwa mahali tunafanya biashara.
Well, and that story from Kisumu West takes the news desk to a very short commercial break. Please stay with us for more on the other side.
Baadaye anti. Mkuu, umetufikisha home poa. Asante. Pia wewe pata kakitu ikufikishe home.
Nunua any 280-gram Cadbury Dairy Milk Packs ama Cadbury Drinking Chocolate. Visit cadbury.africa or andikie someone special your heartfelt message ya kumshow thanks. T's and C's apply. Cadbury, there's a glass and a half in everyone.
Welcome to iVibe Africa, your best African entertainment platform. Discover exclusive content on African culture, motoring, sports, and reality shows made by Africans for Africa. Stream to iVibe Africa wherever you are. Whether you're at home or on the go, we've got something for you. Download iVibe Africa now on Google App Store or Play Store to ensure you never miss out on this captivating and amazing entertainment.
Safi kabisa. Utakuwa unaonea wapi? Hapa ama utakuwa umekula njaro roka hii ama utakuwa katikati? Utakuwa wapi?
How do I look? Look so pretty. I love your dress. Thank you.
Ile maneno tumekuwa nayo tunafutana nini? Sasa mimi nataka to revenge my love to you.
Kwa Forest, ungenipeleka hoteli.
What about every Monday 7:30?
Huyu mshamba nani alimroga jamii?
Welcome back and thank you for choosing KTN News Desk. Now, doctors from Africa have raised concern over increased rate of endometriosis condition. According to a group of doctors from West Africa who are on a training session in Kirinyaga County, endometriosis is a disease which is a concern. That's why they have opted to train within the county. They have stated that Kenya is much far ahead in terms of technology and that they have learned more on this disease. Lead doctor from Kenya, Dr. Joe Njagi, said endometriosis tissue, similar to the lining of the uterus growing outside the uterus, it can cause severe pain in the pelvis and make it harder to get pregnant. He said endometriosis can start at a person's first menstrual period and last until menopause.
Endometriosis was a condition that, was a taboo to talk about issues surrounding your menstrual health. Young girls who are made to believe or to feel that endometriosis or pain during their menses is something that is normal. But now through awareness and advocacy, women are coming out and saying this is not normal. And this is what is making the public feel that endometriosis is on the rise. Absolutely not. Is that now people are more empowered, we are now able to make diagnosis and we are able to treat endometriosis. What I really feel that is important is to make diagnosis of endometriosis early enough. So catching endometriosis early enough will help the disease not to advance to a point whereby it's going to affect fertility and significantly affect the quality of life for the patients who are suffering from endometriosis.
Students have been urged to embrace integrity to achieve high standards in their performance. Speaking at Brookhurst International Schools, Professor Rebecca Waihenya urged the graduates to uphold strong values and lead by example as they step into the future.
3 things that are important for you as a graduate. 1, take responsibility of your success. Success is not given. Success is not by luck. It is not by chance. Success requires you to focus. Success requires you to be committed. Success requires you to get out of your comfort zone. Success requires you to do the right thing, to make the right choices. So take responsibility of your success. As you choose your career, I'm of the opinion that you should do what you love doing. Do something that you have passion for. Don't do things for someone else.
The information they have received and the ideas are going to help them forge forward into the future with courage and very high expectations. Of course, it has also given them it has also equipped them with some of the things that they are expecting in terms of opportunities in future.
With
good character, we'll be able to achieve much more. So they have a combination of all what one need to be successful. Good education, good character, and they also are aware of themselves in terms of what talents they have, and they can continue even developing those talents.
Moving on, as the government gears up to roll out a national livestock vaccination exercise starting January 2025, livestock farmers in Nyandarua County have called on the national government through the Ministry of Livestock Development to send officers to enlighten them more on the vaccination. Speaking in Olkalau, the farmers say they have not received adequate information on why the animals will be vaccinated, yet they have not experienced any alarming disease outbreak. In addition, they say they are not against the move if the exercise is meant to increase the yield, but they would prefer engagement through stakeholders. The countrywide vaccination of livestock, which is an initiative of President William Ruto, will see vaccination of 22 million cattle against foot and mouth disease and 50 million sheep and goats against pest hepatitis ruminants across the country.
And we respect that decision with all humility. I am making this concession speech before the official announcement by the Electoral Commission to avoid further tension and preserve the peace of our country.
Ghana have won and we are happy. We are very, very happy for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Yes, they said he can't come and he has come. The nation builder is back to build our Ghana for us because we are in need of schools, we are in need of hospitals, and we are in need of work.
Honestly, I don't have to expect much from him because he has already done a lot in the so short 4 years. So I know he can do more.
I'm happy that God Almighty has listened to our prayers and choose the one that Ghanaians need to be the next president of the Republic of Ghana.
All right, and we apologize for that technical hitch. Now, following Vice President Mohamud Bamumia's concession in Ghana's election, jubilant supporters of opposition candidate John Mahama have been celebrating on the streets across the country. Ghana's ruling New Patriotic Party candidate Vice President Mahamudu Bamumia conceded defeat in the weekend's presidential election, saying the people of Ghana have voted for change. The election was held against the backdrop of the country's worst cost of living crisis in a generation and seen as a litmus test for democracy in the region, shaken by extremist violence and coups. Mahama's win is viewed following the latest trend of elections around the world, favoring opposition parties against incumbents from the United States to European countries such as Britain and France, as well as South Africa. Mahama, 65, was president of Ghana between July 2012 and January 2017. Now, both U.S. President Joe Biden and President-elect Donald Trump reacted Sunday to the collapse of Bashar al-Assad's regime in Syria. Given its strategic interest in the Middle East, the U.S. is expected to keep a close eye on what lies ahead in Syria. VOA's Veronica Iglesias reports.
U.S. President Joe Biden addressed the collapse of the Bashar al-Assad regime in Syria by a rebel offensive.
At long last, the Assad regime has fallen. This regime brutalized and tortured and killed literally hundreds of thousands of innocent Syrians. The fall of the regime is a fundamental act of justice. It's a moment of historic opportunity for the long-suffering people of Syria to build a better future for their proud country.
Biden also outlined several steps the U.S. plans to take in light of the changes on the ground, including working closely with regional allies.
First, we'll support Syria's neighbors, including Jordan, Lebanon, Iraq, and Israel, should any threat arise from Syria during this period of transition.
President-elect Donald Trump reacted Sunday to the latest developments in Syria, posting on his Truth social media platform, quote, "Assad is gone. He has fled his country. His protector, Russia, led by Vladimir Putin, was not interested in protecting him any longer."
A day earlier, Trump posted, "Syria is a mess, but it's not our friend, and the United States should have nothing to do with it. This is not our fight." The celebratory mood on the ground in Syria by those who opposed Assad shouldn't distract from the immediate needs that must be tended to, experts warned.
There's going to be the humanitarian aid concern, which I think we and other countries in the UN will have to address. I think secondly, as you mentioned, is the chemical weapons and other military capabilities. We do not want those to get into the wrong hands.
Given its strategic interests and partnerships in the region, analysts expect the United States will keep a close eye on who ends up taking power in Syria after Assad and the direction they take the country in. Verónica Valderas Iglesias, VOA News.
Let's take back that story of vaccination. And as the country gears up to roll out a national livestock vaccination exercise starting January 2025, livestock farmers in Nyandarua County have called on the national government through the Ministry of Livestock Development to send officers to enlighten them more on the vaccination. Speaking in Olkalau, the farmers say they have not received adequate information on why the animals will be vaccinated, yet they have not experienced any alarming disease outbreak. In addition, they say they are not against the move if the exercise is meant to increase the yield, but they will prefer engagement through stakeholders. The countrywide vaccination of livestock, which is an initiative of President William Ruto, will see vaccination of 22 million cattle against foot and mouth disease and 50 million sheep and goats.
Waelimishe zizi ndio tukubaliane na hiyo. Manake ni kusikia tunasikia wengine wanasema ikichajiwa itakufa. Wengine wanasema ikichajiwa itaongeza maziwa. Sasa hatujui ni nani anasema ukweli.
Wangekuja ground kwanza waone wakulima wote na waelezee sababu yoyote wa kufanya hii mambo ya kuchaja ng'ombe zetu.
Waje field kama sasa pahali hapa tuko wengi mamia ya wakulima, lakini sio wakulima wawili pale wengine pale ati wamefuzwa na hiyo na kuwa public participation. Hapana, wawe wanaitwa mkutano. Manake iko siku ingine tulikuwa ilichajiwa wakati ilikuwa na viba mwili zamani, kitu kama miaka 20 na zilienda sana hata kama zilikuwa charged.
The digital superhighway and digital economy seeks to stimulate the economy. This is according to PCS Musela Mudavadi, who is currently in Kakamega for the launch of digital hubs. Mudavadi said this will also make government processes accessible online, and that from a mere 300 to more than 20,000 have been onboarded online, which makes the turnaround a success as cartels who are siphoning monies were done away with.
From a mere 354 services, the government has onboarded over 22,000 services on the e-citizen platform. This represents 85% of all the services identified for onboarding. Furthermore, the President's directive to collapse 1,130 pay bills into a single pay bill, the 22222, for all payments for government services has significantly cut down on leakages in government revenue. The turnaround is amazing. Now the government collects billions of shillings more every month, and you can imagine the cry of the cartels who used to siphon this money from the system. We are also proud of the impact of the Electronic Travel Authorization ETA launched in January 2024, which has increased or led to the increase of number of tourists visiting Kenya by over 20%.
Following government directive ordering removal of asbestos roofs in both private and public buildings in 3 months, leaders in Embu have appealed to the government to appropriate funds to the affected institutions. Diocese of Embu Bishop Peter Kimani said though the move was long overdue due to health risks associated with the asbestos, not many institutions are able to undertake the task. He said the deadline may not be tenable given the economic hardship facing the country, and thus the government should step in to facilitate replacement of the hazardous roofing, especially in learning institutions. He was speaking on Sunday at Joseph Alamaro Wachoro Boys Secondary School in Moya Sub-County on an inspection tour of the school that has successfully replaced the asbestos roofing.
Kwa sababu wazazi na wale wengine wana pesa ya kufanya kazi njia ya economy, tuweze kuona serikali iweze kupandisha mapati ndio watoto wetu wasiweze kupata shinda wakati watakuwa wazee.
Since most of the schools maybe they do not have the funding for that, it is my request that the government should get in, even if it is to look for donations of whatever nature. They get in and they be able to remove those roofs before even the schools open, so that the students can be able to live in an environment that is healthy, an environment that is not hazardous to their health, to their well-being.
Now, an initiative to clean up Mathare River, which is one of the sources of water for Nairobi, has picked momentum as stakeholders reached out to residents with a call to avoid dumping waste into rivers. Among the key players are National Environment Management Authority officials, non-governmental organizations and community leaders from Nairobi and Kiambu counties who have teamed up to give the choking river a new lease of life. NEMO official Dr. Catherine Baisi, who spoke during a stakeholders meeting at the Safari Park Hotel, said the government is encouraging people living near the river to ensure solid materials, including plastic bottles and others, are kept in waste bins and not dumped into the river. This, Dr. Mbaisi said, will help Kenyans convert the waste into profitable ventures by selling the items to recycling firms.
Kwanza tubadilishe tabia yetu ya kudhibiti uchafu. Hii ni tabia ambayo Wakenya lazima tubadilishe. Ujue ya kwamba uchafu hiyo yako wewe mwenyewe, wewe ndio unatakiwa kudhibiti. Usitupe, juu kitupa inamaanisha mtu mwingine anakuja kuokota. Hivyo Wakenya ningewaomba ya kwamba tuache tabia ya kutupa uchafu. Kama uko na gari, wewe ni matatu, weka tu bag ya kuweza wateja wako watupe uchafu.
Na waste na kuna ile garbage. Sasa garbage ni ile tumezoea, ile tunaona ile inatoa harufu mbaya. Na hiyo sasa inakuanga ngumu sana kufanya ile kitu tunasema recycling, kwa sababu sasa lazima uchukue separate, alafu sasa ndio washe, make sure kila kitu iko pale inafaa. Lakini sasa tukileta hii mafunzo ya waste management, unapata sasa unaelewa kwamba plastiki inafaa iweke pande hii, mambo ya vyakula vitu kama hivyo pia zinafaa ziweke pande hii.
Riverbeds, we are also having a lot of bees which we are collecting a good amount of honey. So honey was a commodity which was very, very familiar with everyone. But blue gum tree, when it came, it spoiled all this ecosystem.
All right, we take yet another break, but when we come back, let's talk matters business with Calvin Nyakundi. Hello and welcome to Health and Wellness, where we explore new health trends, wellness tips
in the mental space. We never ask what is wrong. We always ask what happened.
We feel the pain of our patients.
And ways to just embrace a happier and healthier life. Small changes can make a very big difference to your overall health.
For this intervention, we don't use any general anesthesia.
Oh, really?
So the patient is awake with us, talking to us throughout the procedure.
If you start having chest pain and you're sweating a lot and you're not doing any physical activity, that's a very ominous sign that you're actually having a heart attack.
To be honest, we've actually done a CS with Mulika Muizi. You're being mulikwad for you to remove that baby.
So let's incorporate these tips to our daily routine just to ensure our immune system is healthy and strong. Join me, Zaitun Ali, every Sunday at 6 p.m. on Health and Wellness.
Mzee mmoja alitamani kitu rohoni mwake, kitu kimoja
kubwa Christmas hii, kuwa familia yake ije na upendo, ije na furaha tele. Furaha hiyo ienee zaidi kote. Ilete tabasamu ya Christmas kwa wote. Sambaza furaha hii Krisi, tuje pamoja kwa upendo.
Listen, each and every Saturday right here, pure entertainment worldwide.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Straight Up Show.
That if you're watching from home, weka kiti kando jamani. It's about time.
Show ni namba wana kuna nyingine kwa hiyo.
So remember each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Ni kubwa sana. Ndani ya KTN home.
DJ Tatua.
Skia, ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Yummy na flow kama maji, juu ni tamu kama sali. Ni juicy. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, usijali my bro, ibu kama taka juicy juni.
Hello, afternoon. Keeping us and keeping with KTN on this 1 p.m. news. Now, we'll just welcome to business as we get you informed on the latest in the world of business. Let us look at some numbers. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi. Now, revenue collections by the Kenya Revenue Authority, that is KRA, has hit the 1 trillion shilling mark after collecting 1 trillion Kenya shillings as of 30th November 2024. Now, according to KRA, revenue collected in the last 5 months, that is July to November of the 2024-2025 financial year, grew by 4.3% when compared to that collected in the same period last financial year. Now, cumulatively, July to November 2024, customs revenue collections amounted to 359.571 billion, which is a growth of 5.9%. Now, domestic tax collection were up 3.5% over the same period. KRA targets to collect 2.704 trillion shillings by the end of the financial year, that is 2024-2025. Now, Microsoft, through the company's Africa Transformation Office, that is ATO, has unveiled an initiative that will accelerate advancements in artificial intelligence and foster collaboration between startups and industry leaders. Now, the initiative will also mark the launch of Microsoft's strategic collaboration with NVIDIA, which is aimed at accelerating AI startup development in Africa.
AI and how we are leveraging it is we have this era where somebody has innovated a refrigerator and we have people who need to come up with the drinks that actually go into the refrigerator. So that creates a platform that I think existed some 20, 30 years ago on the onset of the internet, because we can literally create products that can go global very fast.
What we're seeing in Kenya and in Africa is a lot of technology-enabled businesses. And for entrepreneurs and founders, what happens is when you're starting off your company or you're starting off your venture, especially if it's a technology-based company, you see how you can host your infrastructure, how you can sort of leverage off other types of technology. And this is where Microsoft is coming for us.
We see and believe that AI could be a good technology to actually allow Africa to leapfrog some of the challenges they're facing, or rather those challenges are actually opportunities for startups like Zendawa and Price and PesaWise to actually solve some of those problems while creating businesses, which is another economic upside for Africa.
Now, women have been urged to embrace opportunities in the technology sector, traditionally dominated by men. Speaking in Nairobi during the signing of an MOU between Women in Technology and Innovation in Africa and China Trade Week Global, Principal Secretary for MSME Development, Susan Mangeni, emphasized the need for women to tap into tech opportunities as the future increasingly relies on innovation. The partnership aims to empower African women through economic opportunities, digital inclusion, and cross collaborations.
Be part of a mentorship program where we will really mentor our young girls to take up these jobs. And you know very well, when a woman wakes up or stands up, the whole country stands up. So we want to use women to really transform this country.
Our goal is to advocate for more women to join the tech industry and change the narrative that only men go to technology or innovative sector. We want to see more women in the tech industry. We want to see more women innovation.
The partnership is a very important mandate to drive awareness, opportunity in the technology space, which obviously kind of drives entrepreneurship, especially within the female sector. Obviously, the female sector is growing as a workforce, and our platform with China Trade Week will bring in investment, will bring in international partnerships that hopefully will drive and not only the technology economy, but obviously the Kenyan economy.
What we are looking forward to is exposure for the women. We want to have a lot of information sharing and technological exchange between women in Kenya and women in China, and also organizations that are coming from China to exhibit during the CTW summit happening next year.
It has improved efficiency, not just in connectivity, but you can be able to do certain transaction, you can access a market, you can just generate value through the exchange of that information. It shows we already existing in a technological space. And like I love telling the people I interact with that if you want to think of doing a business or investing in an income generation opportunities, you do not need to look beyond your locality. You have to look within your locality for very good ideas.
Right now, the government is keen on tapping on digital opportunities for Kenyan youth. According to the Ministry of ICT, there is a growing demand for digital skills in the employment market. ICT Cabinet Secretary says sectors such as technology, e-commerce, fintech, and creative industries are thriving, creating opportunities for skilled professionals. Now, she spoke during this year's PLP Talent Hub.
And that is gifting all the dancers.
Your partner ecosystem, I know we have had different...
I told you guys, then I said this is the... And you've heard about the Ajira program, the Jitume, but we are endeavoring, we are looking at, can we combine all this and give it one name? Because sometimes it causes confusion. And yet, our vision is one. To just equip our young people with digital skills and align them to digital jobs.
Our program runs over a period of 16 weeks where we provide on-demand digital skills to young people who then continue to pursue two key areas of pathways. One is entrepreneurship and one is employment.
So what we want is to be able to expose all these to the young people so they can know whatever your degree you got, or if you haven't gotten one, can you at least tap into these skills? Because if you do, you will be what we call employable.
Right now, the Tea Board of Kenya has announced plans to install scientific tea measuring machines in the Mombasa tea auction market. Now, speaking in Kericho after a consultation meeting with 120 directors of the tea factory from the western area of Bonde, Agriculture Principal Secretary Polo has revealed that the scientific equipment for measuring tea will work within 3 months. The move is aimed to address long-term complaints regarding the difference in the quality of tea from eastern and western industries in drift tea growing areas.
Scientific testing equipment to really also support the current tea testing mechanism. And Tea Board has already put up the infrastructure and they are in the process of installing the equipment, which I think within the next 3 months it should be there.
The economy ya Torsageg in the next 5 years itakuwa juu sana, because hii kahawa kila mkulima akipata at least 100 na kuenda juu. In the next 5 years mtakuwa mnapanga laini. Nikijenga hiyo parchment store, nilikuwa nauliza committee kwa nini store imekaa bila kahawa. Sasa kahawa itaanza kukuja.
This is the leading society which managed to pay the farmers 100 Kenya shillings. This is in the spirit of President Ruto's agenda of bottom-up, that the way to go is to sort out agriculture and agri-business so that it can put money to the people's pocket.
Right, with that, we've come to the end of the business stories. My name is Calvin Nyakundi. Now, I'm going to hand it over to Grace Nganga to bring us up to speed on the latest in the world of sports.
All right, thank you, Kelvin. Let's get sporty now. And the national men's sevens rugby team Kenya Shujaa claimed the 7th place title with a 32-17 victory over their opponents, Great Britain. All eyes are now on the path sevens in 2025 as Shujaa aim to climb up the series standings.
Captain Sevens imekuwa so far so good. Tume have an improvement kutoka Dubai Sevens. So hizo ni boxes kidogo tunatik. And plus tumekuwa na improvement. Ukiangalia hata scores zenye tumelose nazo si big margins. So inaonyesha growth. Plus in your first tournament, second tournament. I mean first outing to many of the boys. Niko quite happy now. Tukirudi home sahi kitu kwanza ni recovery. We have a 10 days protocol, alafu to focus on vitu tumela kidogo kwa hizi tournaments mbili, hizo tunaenda kufocusia sana. Plus previously we have short time to prepare na ndio tumeput in results yenye tumehave sahi. So tuko na long time to prepare, so tutakuwa na excuse from now.
Team has played fantastically. I think if you look at our performance this weekend, even the games we lost against Spain, a little unfortunate not to win that one, but again we go back to decision making in that game. I think we pick the learnings from that and just improve as a team. It's a young squad, but as you can see from every game we play, we keep on improving, and that's a major box that we're ticking on that front.
Now, Lewis Matumbo scored 6 to help GSU bag a 34-27 victory against Hammers in a Kenya Handball National Men's League match played at the Nyayo Stadium Handball Court. The victory saw GSU rise to 11th position after gaining 8 points, while Hammers are positioned 20th after the loss.
First half tuliongea, after first half ile ilisha, kuna pale tulikuwa na gaps kidogo, lakini tukaona tuende correct hapo. Kitu tu imetukost ni mwisho hapo kidogo, some mistakes tu kidogo, lakini all in all tumefanya kazi poa. Ukiangalia that hii ni season yetu ya kwanza kwa league.
It was a lot difficult
It was difficult, but there were some mistakes that were made by the referee that cost us the game, that cost us. That is why it became difficult for us, but we managed to win. So the win is good for us. Yeah.
Side are the champions of the Moi Cup tournament held at Manyata Polo Club in Gilgil. Good defending coupled with accuracy on target by Dr. Hiromi Nzomo was all Manyata side needed to beat Kenya Highland seed 4-3 in their last match, having won their second match. In a Martin Casey Memorial Trophy, Kenya Polo won the title with a 7-5 win over Winebox in the final match. Agri-Drones won the junior tournament, having beaten JW Sigan and Dachshund in the 2 matches.
This weekend, but okay, it was very intimidating coming in from the beginning and seeing a fast score, but he was very gentle.
Blessed FC dug deep to register a 2-1 win over Red Arrow in Gilbert Masengeli Foundation tournament held at Saboti in Trans Nzoia County. In girls results, Koikoi beat Kipsagam 1-0. Total of 48 teams are taking part in the tournament, with the final set to be held on December 31st this year.
Victoria Aletoku inakuja huku pembezoni mwa kulia uwanja, inakata bado wanakuja.
It is the best tournament kwa hii ya recent yeye ndio ametuwekea tournament ile the best wenye wana fight kwa vizuri, na sisi kama ladies tunafurahi kwa sababu amehusisha pia wasichana ambapo wangekuwa wanapata nafasi ya kufanya shughuli zingine, watakuwa na time mingi ya kucheza because our holiday iko mrefu sana.
Mipira hii inasaidia katika pia kwa mpangilio wa family planning. Watu wanapocheza mipira sana, wasichana hawatakaa mitaani katika mbugani kwa kupata mimba za kiholela ama teenage pregnancy.
Na tunaona ya kwamba mheshimiwa DIG ametuletea tournament ambayo itakuza talanta za vijana wetu.
We're excited about this event, but also just talking about the opportunities in the digital space as well. Just letting the young people know that we're here to support them. We've lined up several opportunities for them. We're also working with the different counties, and then we also have like Trans Nzoia County being one of the counties that we will actually be picking a number of young people to go work with and introduce them to this.
You can remember our athletics have taken our country high, and Gilbert Masengeli is really passionate. Mr. Gilbert Masengeli is passionate. Our DIG is very passionate about sports. That is why he had decided to use this foundation to assist fund these teams to be able to play these games.
There is need to invest in women's sports across the country. According to the stakeholders led by Ntoudi Moyelo, investing in women's sports in Kenya isn't just about fairness or equality. It's about recognizing the immense potential for growth, empowerment and socio-economic development that lies within this often overlooked sector.
Women teams are better ranked in basketball in Africa. So, again, I will repeat myself, my call out to you, people that are leading federations. Please come to us, present investment opportunities, especially for women competition, because we see a lot of values investing in women.
Sports development, you consider the sport as any other industry that needs to be developed. That is where the bottom line starts. Previously, sport was seen as leisure. That's where you go in after completing other businesses.
Government need to put processes in place. We have talked about incentivizing even investment, because investing in infrastructure is not small money. That's it's quite an intensive one. So you want to make policies that incentivizes investors that might want to look towards partnering with the government to achieve that.
When an opportunity is there, you don't say you'll do it another day or another time. The opportunity time is here now for Kenya. Mchezo, you have to do something for Kenya, and you have to be part and parcel of this. And I'm sure our people who are here, you can't leave this opportunity to go.
Well, that's it for the latest in sports this hour. But back to some local news, and reports from Marsabit County reveal that female genital mutilation is still being conducted secretly as community leaders call for an immediate end to the practice. Speaking during a graduation ceremony for girls who participated in the Gadis Game Camp, a program aligned with the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, the Mama Guyo Foundation urged parents to abandon this outdated tradition and instead prioritize their daughters' education. Ali Manzu reports.
The second group of over 200 underage girls from various communities in Marsabit County recently completed a training camp aimed at reshaping societal attitudes and protecting them from FGM. According to Marsabit First Lady Alamitu Jatani, FGM cases spiked during the holidays, a move that prompted her foundation to establish the Gadis Game Camp, a program that offers an alternative rite of passage through education and training.
My little thing, the only thing I can do is to empower girls. And right now I have many people who have joined me, and so far over 2,200 girls boast of going through this transformative.
Although the practice of FGM has declined since 2018 in Marsabit, Jatani emphasized the importance of sustained programs like Gadis Game to eradicate FGM in Marsabit and other regions where it persists.
Kenya Health KDHS ilionyesha kuwa Marsabit tuko 83%. Si ndio? Lakini tuliambiwa Laisamis ndio iko na over 97%, ndio maana figures zetu ziko juu.
The Mama Guyo Foundation's program director Willis Odhiambo highlighted the program's success, noting that many girls who participated in Gadis Game campaigns have been able to continue their education, a significant shift from past trends.
We have quite a number that have already proceeded to universities and also colleges. We have some doing laws, others are doing nursing.
Jatani also called on residents to oppose all forms of sexual violence, stating that such acts have contributed to the disintegration of many families and dimmed the hopes of many children striving for a better future.
Wanawake wale wanachapwa pia iachwe. Ukeketaji ya wasichana iachwe. Mambo yenye yanadhulumu mtu yoyote ya jinsia yoyote yanafaa kuachwa.
The Gadis Game Camp equips girls with essential life skills. The training covers topics such as the importance of education, menstrual hygiene, and strategies for personal empowerment, providing a pathway to a brighter and more equitable future. Ali Manzu, KTN News, Nairobi.
All right, well, that story by Ali Manzu wraps up KTN News Desk this Monday. Thank you so much for always sparing time for us. My name is Grace Nganga. Good afternoon.